available along with the slides to those who registered for the event. We will also post a recording of today's session to eFolder's YouTube channel. With over 225 people registered for today's session, we have put all participants in listen-only mode. You can enjoy the audio portion for today's event either by streaming it on your computer or by dialing in over the phone. Your questions are strongly encouraged throughout today's discussion. We have planned a special Q&A section at the end of the webinar, but you may submit your questions as we go along and we will try to address them on the fly. Now let me turn it over to Kevin to get us started. Kevin, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Ted. Thanks, Caitlin, for organizing this, and Ted for the introduction. So we're very excited to introduce today all the benefits that we're able to deliver to partners with the next-gen eFolder BDR for ShadowProtect Cloud Service. Before we get there, though, I would like to just give partners a snapshot of eFolder's progress and the growth that we've been experiencing, all because of our channel partners. So, as you know, eFolder is an exclusive channel-focused company. Our success is driven because of the success of our partners in the market. So it's exciting every day that we're able to help be a part of and provide solutions that are making a difference for the end user customers and helping our partners profitably serve their customers. So eFolder, we're a bootstrap company that got started way back in 2002 and then grew up slowly in years from 2005 to 2010, and then hit an inflection point where we really started to grow more exponentially with the help of our partners. So eFolder today, we have team members in 9 different countries across 4 offices, plus a large percentage of our workforce is distributed and remote. So eFolder, our mission is empowering business productivity, and so we're able to use our own tools for collaboration and business continuity to work productively as a distributed workforce. There's about 180 members of our team today. About 3,000 channel partners serving, we estimate about 50,000 end users through a channel. With, we're mostly a recurring revenue services company. And so the growth that we've shown, the chart at the bottom is showing a revenue growth over the years, and again, we do owe it to our partners. On average, our partners are growing more than 30% each year with eFolder, and then we're also able to recruit many new partners each year. So thank you for choosing to be an eFolder partner. And for us, it all begins with our values. Going above and beyond is our core value. We want to exceed your expectations. We want to deliver a truly unique experience that you'll be able to turn around and deliver that same level of service to your clients. And so that's the heart of who we are and how we got started and what we strive to achieve every day. And then surrounding these are supporting values, having absolute integrity, exceptional reliability, not only in the technology but the people that you interact with and depend upon, having empathy, connecting with those in the company, the partners that we serve, their clients, and those in our communities, and having compassion. And then just having a grounds-up innovation. With 180 members of our team, there are a lot of very smart people with the same mission to help you, our partners. And if you haven't checked out recently our partner portal that has a roadmap document, you'll see that there's many innovations being delivered and are happening. And 2016 is going to be the most exciting year for our partners. And today we're focused on just one of those innovations being delivered. So viewed from a high level, what's happening in the market? This is how we think about some of the key trends that MSPs are experiencing in the market today in the SMB segment of the market. Even in the SMB, you've got explosive data growth. Clients are just adding more and more data. It's getting cheaper to add. Meanwhile, data is living in ever more places. You have on-premises data, cloud data, data in SaaS applications, unstructured data, and archival formats or NAS devices. And the laws in certain verticals are becoming more strict, and they're even becoming more strict from an auditing point of view. So HIPAA is a good example this year. The government is funding HIPAA audits specifically for small businesses, and there's more and more requirements to address there. On the other side of the fence, you have a workforce that's evolving. People want to bring their own device. They want to be mobile. They want to work wherever they are, and they want to use cloud applications to be productive. But they don't want to lose that productivity. At the same time, you as the MSP have to figure out how do you solve data security, control, visibility, retention, archiving, discovery to meet those compliance needs. So it drives our themes for eFolder to protect data everywhere that it lives, to keep businesses running no matter what happens, and to keep people productive wherever they are. So to these themes, these broad themes to protect and empower business productivity, we have our main product offerings as a company. So of course, we have BDR for business continuity, the focus of today's session. There's our original backup for files product to protect unstructured data. And then we have the Anchor file sync and sharing product for mobile collaboration and distributed collaboration internally and externally, and cloudfinder for SaaS data protection of Office 365 and others. So just at a high level, Anchor allows you to be securely productive, to have just those slices of corporate data that you want on any device, whether it's mobile, tablet, desktop, laptop, corporate file server, while having strong visibility, which devices have which data, and having strong security such as two-factor authentication, the ability to actually have explicit control, which devices are allowed to subscribe to which sections of corporate data, and then to do remote data wipes if there's been an employee who's leaving or some other security incident where you need to sanitize data out in the field. So if you don't know already, we're making Anchor available for free for our partners to run their business. Any MSP in the world, you just go to efolder.net/AnchorNFR, and you can use Anchor for free to run your own business. It's over 2 terabytes of storage and up to 25 seats of users. So you can run Anchor with no charge. And if you're not doing it already, I encourage you to check it out. And then briefly, cloudfinder is archiving, search, point-in-time backup, and comprehensive restore for SaaS applications that are being adopted. And recently, we held one of our partner council meetings, and I was surprised by just how fast Office 365 is being adopted in the channel. Many of the partners on our partner council shared that over the last 12 months, they've gone from maybe one client or 10% of their customer base on Office 365 to over 50% adoption in just 1 year. And so certainly, we're seeing this become quite relevant. And the challenge for MSPs is how do you deliver more value and management and functionality around Office 365 to make it part of your managed services offering, and to help partners, and your customers recover when they have unexpected, they have accidental data loss with documents they've deleted or employees who leave that they need to retain data for, and cloudfinder gives you that instant search and protection so that you can serve your clients if they have those situations. Okay, so the focus of today's call is around BDR. So BDR simply is the ability to have near real-time image-level backups of servers and workstations. The data is aggregated locally on some type of BDR appliance, whether that's an eFolder hardware unit or your own hardware that you're bringing yourself. And then using a combination of eFolder software and our technology partners, that data is replicated to the eFolder cloud. whether you're doing that over the network or you're seeding it, and then you're downloading the data, you can download it, you can get it shipped to you, and you can use our continuity cloud to virtualize your customers' backups in the cloud if they have some type of all-site disaster as well. So it's comprehensive business continuity. eFolder remains committed to our open ecosystem strategy for backup and disaster recovery. We're the only vendor in the channel that partners can come to and pick and choose which imaging engine is the most suitable for each of their clients. So an MSP might have a mid-market size client that has 8 VMware hosts and has a SAN for snapshotting, and Veeam might be the most suitable for that environment, for example, or they might have large heterogeneous environment where they need the coverage level of Acronis to back that up, or they need deduplication across large data sets, and so they'll put in Aperture, or they need you've got smaller environments where you need reliable protection, and you could put in StorageCraft ShadowProtect, for example. So eFolder is delivering a universal cloud solution that works with many popular flavors in the channel, and we remain committed to working with each of these technology partners to deliver an experience that is ideal for each of these flavors of imaging engine, using a combination of our software plus our cloud storage, compute, and recovery technologies. And so today we're excited to announce a renewed and strengthened partnership with StorageCraft, which allows us to deliver a next-generation cloud service. Many of the pain points and features that partners have asked for since the very beginning, since 2010, when we first launched the service for the ShadowProtect ecosystem, we're now able to solve and provide with this new strategic relationship. So eFolder, in this new partnership, we're able to continue to resell ShadowProtect licensing to any current eFolder partner who has active ShadowProtect licenses prior to June 1st, 2016. This includes upgrade rights to gain access to the SPX edition, including SPX for Linux and Image Manager 7, and the other software that MSPs would want to be able to run. You can continue to use ShadowProtect 5 or even older versions if you're using them. And so we're going to be supporting both ShadowProtect 5 and SPX per your preference. So new MSPs coming to eFolder. eFolder will be providing the cloud services portion of the offering, and you can source your licenses for ShadowProtect from any authorized StorageCraft distributor or StorageCraft themselves. Either way, eFolder is going to support our partners cradle to grave for the entire solution. So if you've got needs, how do I use ShadowProtect, or I'm having an issue with the local backup, you'll still be able to come to our support team for comprehensive cradle to grave support for this solution, so that eFolder remains your trusted advisor, and we've got your back when you encounter difficulties. Another key part of this licensing and strategic partnership is that eFolder gains a license to run in a multi-tenant fashion key StorageCraft technology components that enable significant enhancements to our cloud service. So the ability to run the Image Manager service in the eFolder cloud, to use a more comprehensive VirtualBoot offering in the continuity cloud, and then leveraging the HeadStart restore technologies to allow you to pre-restore your cloud backups to continuity cloud node resources for instant-on continuity cloud virtualization of your backups for those customers that have the need to do instant virtualization in the cloud. So eFolder has already been, our development team has already been integrating these technology components with our software platform, our cloud management platform, our cloud storage backend, and so we're excited to announce that this will be available June 1st for existing and new partners to start using. So let's take a look at how this updated cloud is going to work. So just like before, you'll be able to use ShadowProtect to do your local imaging of your backups. Doing near real-time backups every 15 minutes of servers and desktops and workstations to a BDR appliance, whether that's the eFolder hardware appliance offering, or you bring your own servers, if you've got a preferred relationship with Dell, HP, Lenovo, etc. That BDR, just like always, is going to be running the StorageCraft Image Manager plus the eFolder software agent. And that's going to be doing health monitoring, consolidation, creating those tiered retention recovery points locally, just like it always has. The eFolder software agent will be monitoring the health of all of those operations just like normal as well, and all of that's going to be talking to the eFolder cloud. So here's where things get a little different. The eFolder cloud will, in addition to running the eFolder software stack, will also be running an image manager instance, one or more, that's dedicated to each MSP that's using the next generation cloud. And so a secure shell file transport mechanism will be used to transmit just the daily Delta files from the source BDR appliance into our cloud. And then from there, the image manager running in our cloud can apply a different retention policy to create a different set of tiered retention points, recovery points in the eFolder cloud. From there, that data has been replicated rather than backed up, and so that data is in the native ShadowProtect format and ready to be used directly, whether it's by VirtualBoot or HeadStart Restore, or you want a disk shipment, or to be able to download that data. All the same recovery options that you're used to and more are now going to be available. So this is a diagram of the eFolder Continuity Cloud. The Continuity Cloud allows you to virtualize the backups that you've replicated to the eFolder Cloud so that you can run your customers' environments inside the eFolder Cloud. Again, you can do this locally, instantly, using VirtualBoot on your local BDRs at your client site, and the Continuity Cloud provides you similar functionality, but running on eFolder cloud infrastructure. So one thing that's quite unique about the eFolder Continuity Cloud is just a level of flexibility that you gain when you're using cloud. So eFolder gives you your own private router and firewall that you can use to fully control not just port forwarding, but creating custom subnet structures, IPsec VPNs, other types of VPNs, PPTP, endpoint VPNs, in addition to port forwarding, all completely self-managed. And so we have one of the most flexible cloud DR environments that you can use, so that not only your one server environments are able to be stood up, but we've successfully been able to, environments that have 20, 30, 40, 50 servers in the Continuity Cloud successfully. And so it's a cloud that can scale from your smallest customer, up to customers with pretty sophisticated needs. And so the new relationship allows eFolder to run VirtualBoot for both VirtualBox and Hyper-V in the eFolder Continuity Cloud, in addition to using it in conjunction with HeadStart Restore. In terms of how the offering is going to be sold, like we mentioned, one of the key trends is this exponential growth of data, and we firmly believe that over time, the right way for MSPs to sell backup and disaster recovery is to move away from a price per gig model towards a flat price per protected endpoint model. In this way, essentially you don't have to worry about data volumes and sizes, and you're able to focus on the value you're delivering to your clients. And so the next generation cloud offering will be sold on this flat price per server per month model, which includes 2 terabytes of cloud storage per protected endpoint. And 2 terabytes of cloud storage is aggregated at the MSP level, and so if you've got clients, normally they're using far less than 2 terabytes per server, of course, And so that means that if you've got a customer with an 8 terabyte file server, they're still not going to be paying for overages because you've had so much excess capacity, unused capacity from other endpoints that you're protecting from other customers. So it's an all-inclusive price that includes all eFolder software, that running locally and in our cloud, all of the compute resources necessary to run not only the eFolder software on the cloud, but the StorageCraft software components in our cloud, plus the cloud storage and the bandwidth, the security management, and all management that goes into providing 100% application level uptime SLA on the cloud. And then the continuity cloud, as before, is sold on a just a price per continuity cloud node per week or per month, where a node is a collection of CPU, RAM, and disk storage. So all backups are able to benefit from the continuity cloud, and you're able to choose, do I use the continuity cloud on demand, or do I need dedicated resources so I can instantly virtualize some of my most sensitive customer servers immediately. So I should point out that we're not going to be forcing any partners to switch their current pricing model. So if you're happy on a price per gig pricing model with the current cloud solution, that is going to be supported. We're not deprecating that cloud, and so we're quite happy to continue operating that cloud. So there will be no disruption to any partner and their current business model. So let's talk for a couple minutes just some of the benefits we're now able to deliver with this enhanced combination of eFolder software and StorageCraft technology components in our cloud. So one thing the partners have been asking for ages is the ability for eFolder to provide not only health information at the BDR level, where the BDR says, hey, I'm receiving current backups from all of the endpoints that I know about, and those backups are healthy, their chains are good, the data's been verified every week, and it's replicated into the cloud. That's good to know at a BDR level that all endpoint backups are healthy and good and up to date. But if there's any endpoint that's not healthy within that BDR, it takes more work today to understand what that endpoint is and the health. What's my last backup, for example, for each of my individual endpoints associated with the BDR. So we're now going to be delivering, even for partners not using the next generation cloud, the ability to have health and status information per protected server. If you're on the current cloud solution, it'll provide that for the local endpoints, the local backups that are being done by ShadowProtect. And if you're using the next gen cloud, then you'll have visibility per protected endpoint in the eFolder cloud as well, to be able to see both sides. And so that will be a real time saver when you're looking for, hey, are all my endpoints healthy, and if not, which ones need attention? Another very big pain point that partners have had with the previous solution was that every month you've had to transmit both the daily deltas and the monthly deltas. That's no longer the case with the new cloud. You only have to transmit the daily deltas, and that's going to be at least a 2x reduction in bandwidth. For small customer sites, it really is not a material difference, but for some of you who are running backups of 1 to 2 plus terabyte servers, those monthly snaps become quite large, and they're often not able to catch up for a while at the beginning of each month while you transmit that monthly delta. So you can have distinct retention policies on-site versus the cloud. You're now able to start transmitting incrementals even before, after you've seeded the base image, but before we received it and processed it. So you're less likely to get behind during the processing of a seed job to our cloud. The ability to run VirtualBoot for Hyper-V in our continuity cloud, and then the ability to use HeadStart Restore. So let's just talk about before and after for each of these. So we talked about the Granular backup monitoring and integration. Again, where the next-gen solution will now provide detailed endpoint level status, last backup, and health status for each endpoint that you've got, both locally and in the cloud. The WAN-optimized replication As we stated before, it really required a large amount of bandwidth for large environments, especially if you had rolling consolidation turned on. And now, in the cloud, you're able to turn on rolling consolidation and say, hey, I want to keep 6 months worth of monthlies, and then after that, I want to have this rolling consolidation to roll forward the image so that I don't have more than 6 months of history in the cloud or whatever it might be. And that's fully enabled now, but regardless of what that retention policy is on the cloud side, it's only having to transmit those daily deltas, which are generally quite small and easy to transmit. And so, any of you that have, even individual servers, you don't have to move whole hog to the new cloud. You can just take that one server that's struggling and set that up on the next gen cloud, for example. And so the amount of work that you may need to do to benefit from this, we're trying to minimize that labor required, so you don't have to forklift upgrade your environments. If it's already working, there's no need to change it and do extra work just to fix a smaller portion of your environment. The retention policies we've mentioned, and again, it's just about providing flexibility to have more or less historical data in the cloud per your preference. The partial reseeding, this applies to also the ability, sometimes we've had environments where, hey, a customer adds a new server to a BDR. Maybe that's a really large server and they don't have enough bandwidth to transmit the base image of that new server to the cloud. Before, when you were doing seeding, you would need to reseed the entire environment associated with that BDR. And this is no longer the case, that you'll be able to perform seed operations just by copying the data that's relevant to just the protected servers that you're trying to seed to our cloud. And again, incremental transmission can begin prior to the processing of the seed data itself. The VirtualBoot for Hyper-V. So VirtualBoot is a technology that allows you to instantly virtualize a point-in-time backup image. And previously, this was done on top of the Oracle VirtualBox hypervisor. The VirtualBox hypervisor is a nice desktop-class hypervisor that is very easy to use. Once you start getting into environments with many servers, 10, 15, 20 servers, now you've got 10, 15, 20 windows open, running in VirtualBox, and it's much harder to manage. VirtualBox does not run as a service. So VirtualBoot for Hyper-V allows you to use Hyper-V instead, where you have the same benefits of VirtualBoot, the near instant virtualization, the ability to virtualize any system, whether it was physical or virtual before, but to do it in the context of Hyper-V. And so this is being tested for compatibility with our Continuity Cloud. The Continuity Cloud, we already provide VMware, VirtualBox, and VMware options for the Continuity Cloud. So we have a strong confidence that this will be fully compatible with the Hyper-V running in our Continuity Cloud, and you'll be able to leverage this in conjunction with the new offering. And then HeadStart Restore. Previously, when you need to virtualize a server that's been backed up to the eFolder cloud, and you need to virtualize that server locally, that would happen nearly instantly with VirtualBoot locally. But if you needed to virtualize it in eFolder cloud, you had to sort of rehydrate, decrypt, and restore that data to a Continuity Cloud node, which happened at a rate of about 200 gigabytes per hour. So for many customers that only have half terabyte of data or so, a couple hours to have more of an on-demand model for the Continuity Cloud is quite suitable. If they've had a disaster, it's unlikely that an average is even going to be ready to do business within 24 hours. On the other hand, there are many customers that have a much tighter requirement for the recovery time objective. They might have disparate geographical locations where one office goes down, they need to quickly get that office back up and running in the cloud. So you can now, as a partner, have the option to purchase the ongoing dedicated resources in the continuity cloud, paying a lower monthly fee per continuity cloud node that the customer needs for their dedicated environment, and then use and leverage HeadStart Restore to automatically, every time that a new incremental backup is received for one or more servers into our cloud, it will automatically incrementally update that virtual machine representation of that backup in the continuity cloud, such that if that customer has a disaster, you literally just go to the hypervisor and tell HeadStart Restore, hey, finalize this VM. It's just as fast as VirtualBoot, and then you click the play button in the hypervisor to turn it on, and you can already even pre-configure your virtual networking, your IPsec VPN tunnels or whatever else you need to have, the connectivity pre-configured so that it truly is an instant-on experience for continuity running in the eFolder cloud for those customers that require that. In terms of availability, we're launching this June 1st, so existing partners will be able to use the Granular Health Monitoring like we mentioned for local backups just by upgrading your eFolder Backup Manager agent on your BDRs, which, by the way, you can do automatically from the Account Center Cloud Management Portal. You just select the account, right-click, and choose Upgrade, and that would automatically schedule an upgrade for that agent. The use of the other next-gen cloud features does require a conversion process because the data, of course, is stored in a different format if the image manager in our cloud is going to natively be able to process that. And so we recommend that if that partners look at their environments and see, hey, are there environments that are struggling to catch up every month because of the monthly deltas? How much work is it for me to move these? What's the pain points I'm trying to solve? And so start planning for what do I want to consider migrating to this next generation style of cloud. So new partners who sign up after June 1st, we're only going to be running on the new cloud for new partners. And like we've mentioned, the next-gen cloud will only be available under the flat dollar per server per month pricing model. So if you're currently on a price per gig pricing model, previously we've had a bundled pricing model before, and it required you to buy your ShadowProtect server licenses from eFolder. This is not the case with the next-gen cloud. So with the next-gen cloud, if you've bought perpetual licenses already, for example, for your end customers, or you're buying subscription licenses from somebody else, you can still use the next generation cloud, and you'll have a lower price per protected endpoint just for the cloud service portion of the offering. And so there's now different price points whether or not the ShadowProtect license is bundled in with the cloud license. The next-gen cloud does require that you are locally encrypting your ShadowProtect backups. That essentially you're enabling the ShadowProtect encryption feature using a password to generate an encryption key, which then ensures that your ShadowProtect data is fully encrypted, so that the data stored in eFolder Cloud will be encrypted. And full details on the conversion process for existing partners will be available from your account manager starting on June 1st. So we're putting together a full FAQ and conversion process workflow for partners. So any partners who have large server backups that have difficulty staying caught up, those partners will be prioritized first for conversion because they have the greatest need. But beyond that, there'll just be some sort of queue, and we'll be provisioning these resources on the next-gen cloud, as fast as we're able to. So we're gearing up for that right now with a team of folks ready to do that. So with that, yeah, thank you, our partners, for your patience and loyalty. We're excited to deliver this enhanced cloud offering, and yeah, the rest of the time now we've got for just a discussion.
Yeah, Kevin, I think one important thing we just should kind of summarize and double-click on a bit is just for existing eFolder partners, just reinforcing that they will continue to be able to source ShadowProtect licenses from eFolder. I mean, just talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. So yeah, if you're buying
will there be any price changes? I just saw a question come in. Or will there be any price changes? You know.
Sure. Good question. Yeah. So if you're an eFolder partner today, and you're buying ShadowProtect licenses from us, there is no change to the relationship. You will continue to be able to buy those ShadowProtect licenses at the same price with no price change. You gain access to the upgrade rights that are part of our new agreement, and that includes access to SPX and the Linux edition, etc. Image Manager 7, and so so yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. If you're if you're relying on eFolder today for the licensing, that's not going to change, and the cutoff date there is June 1st. So if you sign up with eFolder after June 1st, then you'll be buying just the cloud services portion from eFolder and sourcing the licensing from some other authorized distributor or StorageCraft themselves. Great.
There's a ton of questions here, Kevin, so I'm just going to start marching through these, and everybody feel free to keep firing them through. So a follow-on question. I don't think we talked specifically about it, but for partners that do sign up with eFolder after June 1 and do the cloud-only version of BDR for ShadowProtect, what will the pricing be? I don't think we didn't announce it here, but if you could just talk about how it's going to work at a high level.
Sure. So today we bundled together the ShadowProtect license price plus 2 terabytes of cloud storage at a starting price of $75 per server, and it goes down with volume, pretty aggressively. And so if you subtract the retail price of ShadowProtect, which is about $30 per month, then that gets you to a starting price point of around $45 per server per month for the cloud-only portion, and that will go down, aggressively with volume. And so, that can give you a rough idea of, of what the price point will be. Essentially, we are trying to be price neutral so that if you're buying your ShadowProtect licensing from some other party, the combined cost would be similar, to what you would have paid before had you been buying both components through eFolder.
Okay.
Again, yeah, there are volume discounts available, and you can chat with an eFolder sales rep on what those are.
Okay. Kurt's got 2 questions right in a row here. Let me just ask them both. I'm sorry I came in late, but is SPX now supported, and is all of the other feature set based on Image Manager in the cloud? And can we use Image Manager 7, and what about Shadow Control?
Yeah, so the contract does include upgrade rights, so you can use SPX, including the Linux edition. You can use Image Manager 7, including the ability for us to run Image Manager 7 in our cloud with all of the corresponding features that are available. And partners are able to source and use. There is no, my understanding is there is no license charge to run the Shadow Control solution from StorageCraft, and so partners are able to use Shadow Control, per the license agreement and the EULA, to monitor the health of their local backups. Partners will not be able to run custom software attached to the Image Manager running in our cloud. And so if you wanted to put an RMM agent, for example, on the Image Manager virtual machine running in our cloud, that's not going to be possible. But status information will be propagating into the eFolder Cloud Management Portal, and it'll still support all the PSA and RMM integrations that we have. So you'll be able to get that same information into your systems, regarding the cloud side of the relationship, of the replication relationship.
Okay. Let's see here. So just another pricing clarification question from Kurt. The cloud-only pricing starts June 1, or is it available now?
Yeah, we're not ready to launch. The cloud-only pricing requires the use of the next-gen cloud, and so that begins the availability for that begins June 1st. On June 1st, you should talk with your account manager, who will then have the full details about the program and how to convert to that model if you're on some.
Okay, Nathan wants to know, how is Image Manager in the cloud controlled? Will each partner have nodes to log into, or is Image Manager in the cloud controlled through the eFolder portal?
Yeah, so as part of the service fee, you'll have a remote app connection to the Image Manager instances that are dedicated to each, you as an MSP, and so you're not sharing. We've created virtual compartments for each MSP running their own image manager, and so the same interface that you're used to, using, you'll be able to use. That being said, with Image Manager 7, there's really very little you need to do on the cloud side. You can configure your default retention policy, and Image Manager 7 will now automatically add any server data that's uploaded to eFolder's cloud to automatically start managing that subfolder with that endpoint data. So, you'll be able to customize retention recovery, retention policies for individual endpoints. But typically, we anticipate that partners will actually not have to interact with the cloud side that often. But if they do, it will be using the same Image Manager native GUI interface through a remote app connection for partners that's already included.
Perhaps slightly related, Jay wants to know, does the auto-verify feature of Image Manager 7 run in the cloud without buying Continuity Cloud resources each month?
Yes, so the Image Manager auto-verify, we do view that as an important part of giving partners confidence that their data is good. eFolder, this solution still benefits from eFolder's silent data corruption protection technology, where every block of data stored in our cloud, has many redundant copies, each with strong checksums that we're doing periodic verifications underneath any application layer, including the Image Manager layer. But Image Manager will be doing the auto-verify in the cloud. That being said, we'll likely dial it back to once per month, only because eFolder is already doing data verification underneath the Image Manager application, and so doing it once a week is overkill for the cloud because we're already doing it at different layers. But there will be that once a month verification as another layer of safety protection and peace of mind.
Okay, let's see, just some, Lonnie wants to know, so here's a scenario, current eFolder partner putting up a new customer on June 1. I'll be providing the BDR appliance covering a SBS 2011 server. Will it be ShadowProtect 5 or SPX? So I guess it's the general question of how do partners choose between.
You can use either. Yeah, so you can continue to use ShadowProtect 5. ShadowProtect 5 is fully compatible with this next-gen cloud, so you can keep using the current cloud that you're using. If you want to use the next-gen cloud, then you could use ShadowProtect 5 or ShadowProtect SPX, and and replicate that to the next-gen cloud. So you really have the flexibility to use any of these options that you're used to using, or to use the newly available tools.
Okay, so a question from Christian, kind of related to support. Will we still be required to obtain technical support via eFolder, or can we get support directly from StorageCraft? In the past, we were unable to get support for some advanced image manager features, such as replication, or for other StorageCraft products, such as Shadow Control Appliance. So just a quick question around support, Kevin.
Yeah, so if you're buying your ShadowProtect licenses from StorageCraft directly, or some other authorized distributor, then the fact that you're buying those licenses from those other channels will give you support rights. eFolder's support, the eFolder support rights will be in addition to. So, for example, let's say you're currently buying your licenses through StorageCraft. You will be able to go to StorageCraft for technical support for any of those licenses you're buying from them. in addition to the support you would get from eFolder. So eFolder will support you either way, but essentially this gives you more flexibility and choice if that's interesting for you.
I guess the follow-on question, Christian popped through a follow-on on that, is that, I mean, if they're sourcing all of their licensing through us, do they have entitlement, I guess, to contact StorageCraft for support if they wanted to? I guess is really the upshot.
No, I mean, if you're sourcing the licensing through eFolder, then it follows eFolder is the first line of support, and we can escalate, but now, we'll be supporting, the full image manager feature set, and so eFolder support will be able to escalate any tricky issues for the full spectrum of features that are available under this updated contract.
Okay. So Drew wants to know, do we have the ability to use SPX prior to June 1, or do we have to wait until the June 1 to upgrade from the current version 5?
The license keys should allow you to use SPX now, is our understanding. The team is still, we've done some preliminary vetting and testing and validation, and everything works as we expected. That being said, our support team's documentation and everything else will not officially support SPX until June 1st, and so we just keep that in mind, that it's not officially supported until we're launching this, and so we believe that it will work, and based on our preliminary testing, it does work well with even the existing cloud, but it's done without official support channels for the moment.
Okay. So kind of a technical question on kind of image manager capacity. So Nathan wants to know, ShadowProtect has some limits as to how many images it can process in image manager based on resources. How many servers can each one process? So if we have 300 servers, I assume we'll have multiple instances of image manager, I guess is the question.
That's correct. Yep. So for other flavors of BDR that have used this model, I should point out that eFolder has deep experience running virtualized storage environments. Aperture follows this model, Acronis follows this model, Veeam follows this model, and so we have dozens of petabytes and thousands of virtualized storage VMs running very heavy storage workloads. The flavor that we have determines the scalability of how much storage you can put into one virtual machine instance. And so, we're still learning what exactly that boundary will be, but it's likely going to be around 10 terabytes per image manager instance, perhaps a little bit smaller. Our unique storage cloud provides a couple hundred megabytes of I/O throughput to each VM, and so it's actually quite fast inside of our cloud, unlike, if you've tried this on public clouds, for example, your experience may have been quite different. So, we're bringing to bear our 10 years of cloud experience here. So the answer is, at some point, you'll start receiving multiple vaults with running Image Manager, but, we're able to scale far larger than your average typical server running Image Manager because of the scale and architecture of our cloud storage underneath each of these virtualized image manager instances.
Okay, just a question from Dave. Will the new solution automate nightly boot and confirmation of the current backup?
You can use Image Manager 7's new VirtualBoot automation features to do that locally, and we encourage you to do that. The current cloud will not support nested virtualization, and so will not currently support automated screenshot verification in the cloud. If it is able to successfully virtual boot locally, it is the same technology chain that will virtual boot in our continuity cloud, and so you can have already a much higher level of assurance through local virtual boot automation. Based on partner demand, we'll understand if there is a use case for doing virtual boot automation inside of our cloud natively, and having partners choose to be able to add more CPU and RAM resources to do that. And so that's something that we're evaluating we do know that we can run nested virtualization in our cloud today if we needed to. So we have the capabilities if the demand is there, and we can sort of monetize the extra resources required to perform those functions in our cloud.
Okay. Just a couple questions from a couple different people. Is there going to be a beta? Kevin wants to know, is there going to be a beta before June 1?
Yeah, I mean, if you're interested, we are involving different partners in rolling this out for early access, and so I would suggest you could email myself or Adam Prio, who is our product manager overseeing the BDR product line. So his email is aprio@efolder.net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm putting that in the chat window to the entire audience. Aprio, Adam Prio @efolder.net. Just put beta. There you are, and Adam's on the Q&A log. So Adam Prio @efolder.net if you're interested in participating in a beta. Let's see here. So I guess kind of a follow-on question about screenshot verification from Frank. Will screenshot verification failures be reported to the eFolder portal and PSA integrated ticketing?
Yes, so we're looking right now at all of the local health monitoring for the image manager, and since that's brand new, I don't have a specific answer for that yet, but the answer will be yes. The question is, will that be available on June 1st or not? That's an unknown. So we do know that we will cover that. It's just a matter of, is it going to happen June 1st or a couple months later? And so we don't know the answer to that question yet. But Adam Prio, since you're on the call, please take note of that so we can research that item.
Okay, Tanner has a pretty long question here, but I mean, basically, Kevin, if you could just reiterate for existing eFolder partners that may be on the per gig model, do they have to upgrade to a bundle? And what if will their price? Well, in some instances, will their prices go up?
Yeah. So if you're on the current price per gig model, you can continue to use the price per gig pricing model with the current cloud solution. The current cloud solution will be supported. There are no plans to deprecate the old cloud. That's based on the eFolder file-level backup engine, and which of course is one of our products, and so there will be no deprecation of that cloud. If you want to use the new style of cloud, then we are only offering that under the price per protected endpoint model, and so if you feel that could potentially be a price increase, we can discuss that with your account manager and look at what would be a similar price per endpoint that would get you to a similar place. We found that it's often very similar if you have any reasonable number of servers. If you've got 20 or more servers, oftentimes the pricing is similar, but there are edge cases when you have a lot of servers, not a lot of storage, and so we're happy to look at your situation and do something that you feel is fair.
Yeah, so another question around pricing, and it's pretty important that we get this clear for existing partners. So Rod asks, I know you've probably answered this, but I'm just trying to clarify. I'm an existing but new partner. My licenses come from eFolder for the ShadowProtect license and the cloud. So with that said, I understand that my costs are not expected to change for existing installations. Will there be a cost change if I choose to convert existing clients to the next-gen cloud? And if I add new installations after June 1, will the next-gen cloud cost be the same as I'm paying now?
Yeah, excellent question. So it sounds like this partner is on the, is on the bundled model today, where they're paying one price per protected server already, and so you'll be able to use the next generation cloud for some or all of your servers at no additional charge. So the pricing is exactly the same. You simply gain access to all of this additional functionality with no change to your contract.
Okay. Let's see here. So I mean, we didn't get to all the questions, but Well, I think we've tackled all the biggies, but why don't we, in the interest of time and ending on time, just Kevin, why don't you, any concluding remarks or summary pieces of information for the group?
Yeah, absolutely. Our rallying cry at eFolder is partner success comes first. We're very excited to deliver, these features that partners have been asking for years. It's finally here, and so we're as excited as you are to to have you enjoy these benefits that will reduce your labor costs. And we just got such an exciting roadmap this year. Anchor, we just released Selective Sync. We've got collaborative web-based document editing coming, as well as granular ACL-based permissions. There's extensive enhancements coming to cloudfinder that you'll see in the roadmap, document in the portal. We just launched our new unified partner portal with training and collateral, and we're working on certification programs. So we'll be holding these town hall meetings monthly, I believe, and we're excited to work together with our partners for your success, and appreciate your loyalty and all the patience that you've had thus far. So thanks for your time today, and look forward to next time.
Okay, everyone, thanks a lot for making time today. A recording of today's presentation and the slides will be circulated to you, and the recording will be available on eFolder's YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining us for today's special announcement webinar and CEO Town Hall. This is Ted Holsey, Vice President of Marketing, signing off. Thanks, everybody.